um, this episode is going to be a long one. We are going to be
Yes.
yapping. Uh,
Uh-huh.
a lot has happened since the first episode we recorded because we waited till after the triple header.
So much. So much has happened. I don't even know where to
Yeah.
begin. We'll get into
So
it though, don't worry.
yeah, we'll get into it. We'll start with the news that we have, then get into the recap of F1's triple header in the Americas, and finally we'll figure out some predictions and some interesting things about the end of the seasons, which is
Yep.
so sad.
I'm not ready.
Me neither. Me neither. All right, I guess we can start with the news. So I guess the first bit of news we'll talk about is NASCAR since they were technically the last race on Sunday. Um, First is William Sawalich, who won the ARCA title this year, I believe, is going to be driving full time in Xfinity for Joe Gibbs Racing in 2025. Next thing is if anybody has watched Malcolm in the Middle, Malcolm, Frankie Muniz, is going to be driving full time in the NASCAR Truck Series in 2025, which is very exciting, very interesting. And finally, the well, before we go into everything about the finale weekend, the final bit of news is that Bobby Allison was declared a winner of a race 53 years after it happened.
I saw
Uh,
that.
yeah,
That was
that,
crazy.
yeah, it is very, very strange, uh, for that to happen, but it was a debate because basically I guess the best way to explain it in F1 terms is if a driver drove an F2 car in an F1 race and won, or an older model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was debated for 53 years. And um, with NASCAR returning to the track that the race happened at next year, they wanted
Mm-hmm.
to declare the winner, I guess. It was, I guess it was also kind of like the stuff with uh well, Wendell Scott getting declared a winner after 40 or so years, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Bubba Wallace became very big, and there was the whole Black Lives Matter movement in America during 2020. So they reversed a call that actually said that Wendell Scott didn't win, but or he finally actually received the trophy. That's what it was. His
Mm.
family received the trophy because he passed away like 10 years ago, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, I guess going into some F1 news, Formula One is revising some of their rules after COTA. Um, I mean, they obviously need to because
Yes.
things happen. Stuff's inconsistent. I will say that at least I've seen recently a lot of inconsistencies, and so I'm hoping that those will get sorted out.
Yeah. I
Um,
I know George Russell said that it was like 19 out of the 20 drivers agreed on it.
yep, which that's good. I want to know who the one is. I want to
Yeah,
know
I know.
so badly.
I know. Same. I'm so confused.
Nosy like that. No, I'm not.
Yeah. And then we have some other motorsports news. First is Haley Deegan of NASCAR fame. She came up through the NASCAR ranks. She was in trucks, ARCA trucks, Xfinity this year until she was let go earlier. She's going to be driving in the basically the equivalent to F2 in IndyCar next in 2025 full time. Uh, then we have Robert Schwartzman. It was announced, I guess, yesterday. I forget if it was
It
yesterday or
was either
today.
today or I think it might have been today.
It might have been today. It's Tuesday while we're recording.
I saw it today,
Yes,
so
I
it could
saw
have
it
been
today as
yesterday.
well. Um, he is going to be driving for Prima Racing in IndyCar in 2025, pairing up with Callum Islet. Um, so it's also a reunion for Robert to go back to Prima, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh, and then finally, uh, Karen brought this up to my attention.
I sure did. Okay, everyone. So Jack Crawford is the new reserve driver for the Andretti Formula E team for season 11. And if you know me, I'm a really, really big Jack Crawford fan. So this is super, super exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Formula E season 11 should be starts soon, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. I know the all female test should be this week, so that will be preseason
I will
testing
be on
will
the
be
lookout for that.
yeah. All right, now into
Let's dive into this
the
triple header, shall we?
yeah, dive straight into it.
Okay, so Coda. Coda was amazing. I had a lot of fun
Yes,
watching it personally. Um, I will say, branching off of Jack Crawford, I thought it was really cool that he got to drive a Formula One car on the highways. I think it was Houston, Texas, he got to
yeah,
drive, which that was super fun to see a Formula One car in the wild like that.
yeah. That was all the
Um,
TikToks were amazing too.
yes, the social media people or all the media people who were recording did such an amazing job with that. I was
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoying it. I felt like I was on the highway watching it myself.
yeah,
Um, but Coda was chaotic a little bit.
yeah.
I feel like what didn't happen. Um,
Um,
Ferrari got a 1-2.
yeah.
Ferrari got a 1-2. That was
A
super
Ferrari
exciting.
won two.
That was
Charles
super
Leclerc
exciting.
won.
He sure
Uh,
did.
that was a masterclass from turn one.
For both drivers, like that
Yeah,
was crazy.
yeah, that was a crazy race. They executed. They were not Ferrari and actually executed a strategy perfectly.
Perfectly.
It was beautiful to watch. Um, as I was, oh
Carlos was so good that weekend too. Like it was just
yeah,
insane.
yeah. And this uh it was yeah, it was definitely insane to watch Charles's move into turn one
Mm-hmm.
from all the different angles that F1 had.
Yes.
And
The
then I guess
trophies
we
were
can
something that made me laugh because
yes,
like they were supposed to look like Mickey Mouse and
yes,
then I guess it was copyright or something and then it
yeah.
was like just random tires but like nobody knew. Nobody knew.
And
And
Pato
so the
somehow
time
ended up with them.
he had the trophies and then the trophies were like gone and he put out I think he tweeted he was like I promise I didn't take the trophies and like that was so funny to me.
Yeah,
Um
I was like, I
I
just saw
also
after the podium celebration, all I saw was Pato on social media with the trophies, and I was like, how did Pato
he's
get
like
them?
I didn't take them, I promise. That was so funny.
That was
I
amazing.
loved all the Daniel stuff.
Yeah,
We're really big Daniel Ricciardo fans here, so it was really
yes,
sweet to see they had like a booth for like writing letters for him or like to honor
yeah,
Daniel. I thought it was, I literally, like, Daniel is like an honorary American, so it was just so
yeah.
weird to have Coda and Daniel not be there.
It was awesome to see Lando in that Texas jersey.
It was, and I don't know, I'm believing that that was a little nod to Daniel. I'm really
I
hoping that
feel
it
like
was.
McLaren did a little nod to Daniel by putting Oscar at the UT game too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was like, that was pretty cool.
And then he had his Enchante garage pop up, which was so cute. All
Yes.
the photos were so adorable. They had like a red truck out front with flowers, just so cute. And then they also had something to where you could send Daniel like a postcard
Yeah.
and write him a little letter. I did that. Definitely was in tears as I wrote it, but that's okay. And
Yeah.
then Lewis, man, that
It's been a
was,
bad couple of weeks for him.
yeah. Except
Um,
for Sao Paulo, which we'll talk about that too.
yeah. And then I guess also Coda, Lando Lawn happened on social media.
Lando
So
Lawn. I was living so vicariously through all the Lando Lawn videos and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
they also made it onto the official F1 page at the
they
fan stand.
did.
I was like, I'm so proud.
Yes. So, one of the creators of Lando Lawn, Bryn,
Yeah,
she goes to the same college as I do actually. So like we're like from like the same town. And so it was just so cute to like I'm like I go to the same college as her, but like it
yeah,
was seriously so fun because like we become good friends like this past semester and stuff. And so it was super fun to see her go do that and like I was looking at all her stuff and it was just
yeah.
so cute and fun.
And they also have an amazing podcast.
They do. Chicane Media, yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing. We love
we
Chicane Media.
yeah, we definitely gotta get them on.
Oh yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. And then yeah, Lewis is beaching. I felt so bad for him.
I did
Um,
too. Because Coda's a
cause
good race for him. Because we
yeah,
predicted like this is one of Lewis's good tracks. Like he does
yeah,
super well here. And then was it like lap 2 or 3?
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it was not
Coda,
fun.
yeah, that was not fun to be a Lewis fan. But
Mm-hmm.
Coda's, I get reminded every race I watch at Coda between NASCAR and F1 what an amazing track Coda is, and I will never get
Yes.
sick of tower shots.
Oh, I know. The tower shots are amazing.
I will
And then,
never get sick of them. That
and even I think it was Liam Lawson. He got points his first race back in F1.
yeah, that was
Um,
impressive.
that was I think it was P9. I think is what he got. I think is
Yeah,
where he ended up
P9
that day.
and Franco also got points that race.
I think so.
Let's double check.
I think he did because I think it was this one was the one. Maybe
Yeah, I
not.
think he he didn't get points.
Oh, maybe he didn't. Let me see.
Race. Yeah, he finished in 10th.
Okay, yes, so we got a point. Go him.
Yeah, but both rookies getting a point. Um, and then the I guess we can kind of get into it. The Lando Max battle
Oh
thing,
boy.
whatever happened.
Oh boy. Um,
Um, where to begin?
I don't know. I really don't know. Personally, I'm just gonna say this. I have my own opinion about it. It's
Yeah,
my opinion, my humble opinion. Um, I understand that Max had the apex,
yeah,
but he drove, in my opinion, a little too wide and pushed Lando off the track,
yeah,
and so Lando went around. Now, should McLaren have told Lando to give the place back?
yeah,
Yes. I think partially some of the penalty stuff was on McLaren.
yeah.
Because
They could have.
McLaren told him to keep driving, and so he did. Anyways.
Yeah, it could have been handled better from McLaren's side. I would definitely agree. Um,
And then the whole
you,
thing to me is weird because it was like, so like, whenever they turn, like, whenever they're in that turn, it's like Lando was on the outside, and
yeah,
then it was like Oscar, I think it was George actually. It was George and
yeah,
somebody else went through the same turn, but George was on the inside and George was the one that got the penalty. I'm
yeah. I
like,
remember that. I remember that. I was like, I was so confused on how George got that penalty because he was so far on the inside. Like, I was just like, wait, what? But yeah, no, McLaren definitely should have told Lando to get the position back. There was still 3 laps to go. He was clearly
exactly.
quicker than
He
Max
could have
at
fought
that point.
back.
Yeah, he could have. he could have had time to regain the position and regain the spot. Um, and I think was that everything?
There's probably more. We're probably missing something, but
We
off the
probably
top
are,
of my
but it
head, I think we're
was
good.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was like, off the top of my head, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, Also just trying to think through everything we've talked about.
I know.
Uh, we were there were a lot of messages going back and forth between us during the race.
Yes, there were a lot. I'm always
Um,
taking some sort of photo or video and sending it to different people. Like, are you watching this right now? Like, yeah.
yeah, and you definitely knew I was.
Although the chrome wasn't this one, wasn't Coda the chrome
Yes, the
for
crow,
that was so beautiful. I was such a fan.
so pretty,
Um,
so pretty.
it really
Um,
was. Good job. Who else had a Haas?
I'll,
Super
yeah,
Haas. Oh my
yes,
gosh.
super Haas.
S-
Uh,
They're killing it lately. Let me just say that.
yeah. And then Alpine had the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the fake McLaren. That was super
Yeah,
funny.
the fake McLaren. Um,
I
yeah,
mean that in a
I
respectful manner. I like Alpine. I just,
yes, and especially their threads admin.
yeah.
Their threads
I think
admin and
that's.
Pierre Gasly.
Oh my goodness. I love the thread. I love their everyone's admins. They're on
Yeah,
threads. It's so fun to watch.
the threads is definitely where it's at. Guess we can get into Mexico.
Mexico City. Okay, let's start with FP1 because we had
Yes.
so many drivers on the grid who aren't regularly on the grid.
Yes.
So we had Ollie Behrman was driving.
Yeah.
Um, Kimi Antonelli, is that how you say his
Yeah.
last name?
Yeah.
Hope so. Um, Felipe, is it Drugovich? I think is how you
Yeah.
pronounce that. Um, Robert, is it Schwartzman?
I believe. Yeah.
And then I think it was also Pato O'Ward.
Yeah.
Is
Pato.
it just the five of them, or was there any more?
I think it's
Let
only
me
the
see.
5. I think. I
Let me
could
see
be wrong.
practice one.
Yeah. FP1.
Yuki was flying too, man.
Yeah, Yuki being third in FP1 at Mexico was insane. He showed up at all of his.
Okay, yeah, it was just the five of them.
Yeah. And then Alex had the crash.
Yeah, that made me really sad.
That made me sad. But also at the same time, I love you, Alex, but that was not Ollie's fault at all. At all.
Okay, I think what it was is because Ollie was slowing down, but then
Yeah.
like he technically was going into the line. Should Alex have swerved and just gone off his line? Yes. But
It was kind of
I
hard for him
mean,
to save the car. He was already like I think on the ESPN broadcast they were saying like he was understeering, so it was a little bit
yeah.
hard for him to steer anyways. Um but
Oh, and then Mexico City, we had FP2, we had the Pirelli's 2025 prototype tire test.
yes.
It was a 90-minute FP2 instead of 60.
Yeah.
Although Russell crashed.
Yeah, that was
Um,
unfortunate. Um
yeah.
Poor George.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I feel like the Mercedes boys have really just been trying to hold on to what they can.
yeah. They're trying to get to 2025 as soon as possible. Just move on from this season. Uh and I mean, if you were listening to either Sky Sports or ESPN, unfortunately, we all had to listen to Danica Patrick speak. Sorry, had to let it out. I am a NASCAR
I
fan
I
at heart, and I still do not like Danica.
it's okay. Me neither.
Respect for her for what she did as an IndyCar driver, though. Major
Literally.
respect. Major,
Yeah.
major respect.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um,
Just her as a commentator
I
has not been like. There are some former drivers that are very good commentators. Jensen
she
Button.
is not. That's not
Yeah,
her strength, and she
yeah,
needs to to dip on out of there.
yeah, yeah. I will give Jensen Button and James Hinchcliffe huge props because they are really good, and also F1 TV's analysis of James dancing with the DCC at Coda was
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, that was so funny. I was dying. I was
Yeah,
dying
I love the
laughing.
fact that they also used the telestrator too to like point out different things.
Yes,
I was
that
like,
was so
dang, they
funny.
went full out.
Yeah, and then it was for Fernando's 400th Grand Prix, which actually, you know what? I read about that, and it was only, which I don't think it like, for me, I think it was his 397 starting Grand Prix, not his 400. So I'm like, why did we not wait 3 races and then celebrate his 400th start?
Yeah,
I don't know. That could be me, but I did
yeah,
read that somewhere, and I was like,
that's
I thought that's what
interesting.
this was.
Yeah, and it is. I saw something somewhere. I think it was in the group chat. That he's crashed out at every 100 milestone GP he's had.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 100, 200,
No.
300, 400. He's had a DNF.
No, that's so sad. Oh my
I was just
gosh.
like, oh, poor Nando.
Um, and then let's see. Do we want to talk about Max's 20-second penalty?
Sure. Yeah.
Because let
It
me
was really
just
two
say,
10-second penalties.
yeah, yeah. It was two 10-second penalties. I was watching and I saw it happen.
Yeah.
Um, Now I'm a Max fan. I do like Max. I like
Yeah.
Lando more. Lando is my number one driver.
Yeah.
Um, but let me say, his driving, that was not okay personally.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he was already upset about something.
Yeah. I think it was maybe the start just kind
Because
of.
the start was insane.
Yes.
Yuki, oh my gosh.
Poor
Poor
Yuki.
Yuki.
He had
Poor Yuki.
he got so much airtime. I was kind of scared for
And
him.
shout out to that F1 cameraman. They stuck their arm out the whole
Yeah.
time with that camera. I was like, dang, you would have
Yeah.
lost me. You would have lost me. I would have been, nope, sorry.
Yeah. The fact that he left the camera there, that
Iconic.
was no. Shout out to all the F1 media, safety personnel, everything who just stand there.
Literally. Um, and then let's see, because it wasn't just Yuki that crashed. A couple other drivers kind of like hit, like Perez. He ended up getting last place at his home Grand Prix, which was super, like, it was sad because no one wants to do that.
Yeah,
But he
because
had
of his
damage
battle
on
with
his
Liam.
car. Because he
Yeah,
had damage on his car. And I was like, which granted,
yeah.
like, he's been struggling a bit this season in general, but I was
Yeah.
like, but
It
he did have
was
damage that race, so
yeah, from his battle with Liam.
yeah.
We can
Oh boy,
also
Liam is not making friends out here.
yeah, he said it. He said it. It's his words. It's his words. It's his words. He said it this weekend. He said it. Um
I'm not here to make friends.
yeah, I mean
Very
granted,
cliche.
I did kind of say it in the chat. I was like, that sounds like a NASCAR answer. Not gonna lie. That sounds like a NASCAR answer. Like when you listen to what he said in full at Sao Paulo about not making friends, sounds like a NASCAR answer. It sounds like an American sports team answer. Like I'm
Yeah.
not out here to make friends. I'm just here to win.
You wanna know what it sounds like? Very much like Lightning McQueen. Oh my goodness.
Conspiracies. Is
But
Liam
no, the
Lawson Lightning
penalty,
McQueen?
confirmed, chat. Can we confirm this? But the max penalty, like
Yeah.
I think it was valid. I
Yeah,
do.
I think it was too. And then what an
Because it was
impressive
like straight up like
drive.
around that
Yeah.
curve, he straight up just drove out. Like he didn't turn.
Yeah,
It would
no,
have been
he
different if he was
didn't.
trying to turn in. He didn't. He was driving
No,
straight. There was
no,
no turn
there was
happening
no.
there. And I
Yeah.
remember watching it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I was watching it too, and I was like, that, if that's not a penalty,
Exactly. I was like, that's a little, whoa.
yeah.
I think I
And
put out a
then,
threads of like a reaction pic and I was like, what was that in all caps?
yeah, I, yeah. And then the his recovery drive. He was a man
Mm,
on a mission.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, and
And then the Carlando 1-2. I
yeah,
I said that the night before, after quali, I was like, I need a Carlando 1-2 with Carlos on top. This was the one
yeah,
time I was willing to let Lando lose to allow
yeah,
Carlos to win. Because I have so many thoughts about Carlos leaving Ferrari, and I
yeah,
just like he drove a drive that day. Like that it was
yeah.
so good. And
He
to
was
see
a
him get
smooth operator.
I can never say Mariah Carey the same. I always say Mariah Carey. Like it's so bad. Um, but seeing him win his possible last win with Ferrari,
Yeah,
I I had tears. I really did. I was so excited. That podium was perfect. It
yeah,
was Charles and it was Lando and they were having so much fun
yeah.
and it was so sweet
The
and I
cool
was
down
so
room
happy.
and Charles may having to maybe having to do community service with Max.
Oh my gosh, he got fined actually.
Yeah,
Fined 10,000. I don't know which one it is. Is it euros or
maybe.
pounds? I
I
don't
think
know.
it may be euros.
We're USD people, we don't know. Um but no, that
That
was crazy too. That made me laugh because in his face, his reaction after he said it, he was like he's like, "Oh no, what did
because
I
he
do?"
I listened to Underground F1 before this weekend's race,
Hmm.
and Casey was saying it's because he saw Lando and Carlos's reaction to when he said it because they
They're
just
probably like,
started giggling.
"Oh boy." It's
It's
that whole
just
thing. That whole thing with the FIA get mad at drivers for saying bad words. I'm like,
yeah,
"Come on."
there's a
Like
lot more dangerous things in F1 than people saying fuck or shit.
literally. Like me personally, I'm not one that says cuss words like that, but like I live in the real world, so like
Yeah.
everybody
And
does.
also
So
like they're athletes and they have emotions, and when they're raw. And also
literally.
as Underground F1 has said, Owen and Casey both said it. They were like, there's such thing as a 10-second delay.
Exactly. I'm
There is
like,
such thing as a 10-second delay.
literally. I feel I like, because it's like as soon as they finish their race, they're so pumped full of adrenaline, and then they're shoved into a media pen, and you want them to be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching like NFL or something, they go to the locker room, they hang out in the locker room, they calm
Yeah.
down, and then they go
Yeah.
to
They
interviews.
change, they do all that stuff.
And I'm like F1 drivers, they don't get the
Yeah.
chance to do that. They
Yeah.
literally get maybe 5 minutes, if that,
Yeah.
to
NASCAR
put
is
their
the
stuff
same
down and
way.
go.
Yeah,
And I'm
all
like,
motorsports are the same way. I mean, the most you get is when you're involved in a crash and you have to go to the care center, and then you come out and then you get interviewed.
mm-hmm.
that's like the most you get. I mean, NASCAR had two instances of fights, different types of fights. One was a physical and one was a verbal.
Mm.
Um, in the truck series on Friday night, there was a verbal altercation
Oh
between two
boy.
drivers because one driver shoved another driver out of the way.
Oh boy.
And one of the reporters from Fox from FS1 was trying to get an interview, and the driver just shoved the microphone out of his face.
Well,
He was just
that's
like,
one way.
"Boom!"
But yeah,
Um,
seeing some of that stuff, I just like, there's F1 Kids. Like, they have that program there.
yeah,
I see the little Lando doing like
it's
Gangnam Style out there. Like, it's a
F1
program,
Kids
it's
broadcast
there.
is amazing. Let me just say,
I haven't actually watched it. I just see the little guys dance and it's so cute.
I haven't seen it actually, but I've seen like clips of it that F1 posts on
Oh,
their
I have
social
seen
media,
those, yeah. I
and
have
I'm
seen
like,
those, the clips of it.
that's amazing. That
Mm-hmm.
that's actually amazing that they do that. Like that's pretty cool. It's like the Super Bowl in Nickelodeon.
And it's like, I don't know, with the whole drivers cussing thing, I just there's other things to worry about, like
There are a lot
really
more disturbing things that happen in an F1 race for kids or adults, because we are adults. Um,
literally.
and there are a lot more disturbing things that happen in an F1 or motorsports race than drivers cussing.
Hmm.
I said it.
Anything else about Mexico City?
Um, we did get the F1 mariachi theme very
We did.
faintly.
We did. I was so excited. I was so okay because I usually don't watch the theme. I'll usually like turn it on like as the race is starting. So like I think for like Sao
Yeah,
Paulo, I turned it on during the formation lap like
yeah,
or actually I turned it on whenever the formation lap was supposed to happen and then they're like wait 5 minutes and then
yeah,
they started it again.
yeah,
But I I was like I turned it on because I was like, maybe they'll play it. No. I was like, this is a joke. Then I was watching
yeah,
F1 TV and they played it while they were doing the grid, like the starting grid.
yeah,
I was so excited. I was like,
yeah.
I was jamming.
ESPN did the same. ESPN Sky Sports did the same thing
Oh, I
because
love that.
I know all like Casper and everyone on Threads were getting so pissed. They're
We
like,
want the mariachi
"Yeah, we want the
theme.
mariachi theme. We're gonna riot." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go along with that because the F1 mariachi theme is the best version of the F1 theme song,
Mm-hmm. It
like
is. It truly is.
by far, easily." Um, and then guess the last race of the triple header, Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Such a cool
What didn't
circuit.
what didn't happen? Let's
That
just
is
say
very
that.
true.
Um, Rain. Let's
Rain.
talk about, okay, let's go through the weekend, okay? Because we had a sprint
Yes.
race too. We had a sprint race.
Yes.
Um, I did I watch qualifying? I don't think I watched the sprint qualifying because it
I
was at a weird
didn't.
time.
Yeah.
But I know Oscar, it was a McLaren one too with Oscar pole sprint,
Yeah.
Lando two, I believe. I don't know who got third. That's okay. And then we get to the sprint race, and it's that whole man, I don't know what to think because like there's some I've read some conspiracies about like the VSC and all
Yeah.
these things happening and I'm just like I don't know how to feel. Like the FIA kind of sus as is,
Yes.
but I'm like I don't know. You know what I'm
I
saying?
will
Like, that's
give the
something where I'm just
FIA
like
one thing. They are a little bit less sus than NASCAR officiating.
that's good.
They're a little bit less sus. A little bit. Not much, but
But I
I
missed, okay, so I missed most of the sprint race. I literally
yeah, so did
turned it
I.
on right before everything happened because I got off of work. I called my mom and I was like, hey, like, on my way home. And so then I was like, I'm watching this on my way home. Turn it on. It's like 2 laps before Nico spins or crashes, whatever he does. I think he just actually drove and like stopped his car on the side, I think
Yeah,
is what happened. And then like, and I'm also driving my vehicle, so I'm not watching everything that's happening on the thing. I'm more trying to listen. And then like all of a
yeah,
sudden it's like swap positions. And so then McLaren swaps and then the VSC happens. I'm like, so and then I was still driving, so really honestly, I was still trying to like I'm still trying to figure out what that was because I
yeah,
know he stopped, he got out of the car, and then nothing happened, and then the VSC happened. Um,
yeah. I missed the sprint fully because I was driving. I was driving
yeah.
down to campus, so to see my girlfriend. But yeah, no, I did see the VSC happened, and not 100% sure what went down uh
I don't either.
there. I know that there was some sort of penalty somewhere. Um,
For
something
who?
with something with Max happened, I think, about the in the
Oh,
sprint.
yes, 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 because I watched that. Because, okay, this is what happened. So I'm driving, I'm watching this, and the VSC is going on, and so I guess it goes away or something like that, or it's about to go away, and Max like, and Oscar Max says something over the radio where Oscar better stop like not slow me down to keep me back because Lando's
Yeah,
ahead now because they've swapped positions at this point.
yeah,
And so I don't know if the VSC went away before this happened, but Max like sped up super fast, like getting ready to pass Oscar.
yeah.
I screamed. I was like, no, like that in my car. And I was like, no. And then he didn't commit to the turn, so he dropped back a bit. And then I don't know if that was when the penalty happened or what.
I think that's one, but I noticed something with having to do with like passing someone under VSC conditions.
Yeah, but like my thing was is like I thought that was right after the VSC went away. So I'm like, I don't know. Sprint's kind of blurry for us because we didn't really watch it, so
Yeah,
well, that's all
I
we'll say about that.
yeah.
Let's move on to qualifying, because
Qualifying.
I turned it on. I turned it on for like the pre-quali show or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
and then did they do that or maybe it was just qualifying, but they hadn't like started yet. Um, and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and nothing happened.
right.
We did get a tour of the McLaren garage, which was kind of cool. Got to learn some things about that.
Yeah, I
We
did
got
see that. I
to
did see that clip. That was
That was
pretty
super
cool.
interesting. I was so happy. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that it is
I
cool
thought it
when
was Oh, sorry, go ahead.
it is cool when you get to learn about the stuff that goes on in the garage or in the paddock.
Yeah, like things you don't usually see.
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool that the drivers got to see because like the fans were in the grandstands. Like they all had
yeah.
ponchos on. They were all ready to go. Um, I
Shout
thought it
out
was
to the
super cool that
Brazil
the
fans.
drivers, you literally, um, I thought it was super cool that the drivers got to see the grandstands like with people because I guess they
That's
said
cool.
like they don't usually get to see that because they're going 200 miles an hour
Yeah,
by the packed grandstands. Not that they
yeah,
can't see it before the race, but like, getting to just sit there and see all the fans for a long time while like not having to do something specific, like you're just
yeah,
waiting.
yeah.
I think that's really cool for them.
Yeah, that's definitely really cool because usually, even if they're doing the driver parade before, they're focused. Like
Mm-hmm, exactly.
you can shout at a driver and they will not hear you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially
And
Lewis
it's
with his
like
singular AirPod in his ear every
always.
single time.
That would be me. If I was in
That
the
would be
grid, I
me
would
too.
have
Like,
these on.
yeah, like that would be me. Like, I'm not calling Lewis out or anything because I literally walk around with AirPods in all the time.
I respect
Um,
it. Like I respect it because I do the same thing. I gotta be like in the zone and I need music to help me get there. Like
yeah, yeah, it's easy. Um, But yeah, no, it's the same thing. I mean,
And then qualifying, so qualifying didn't happen that night. Qualifying happened at 4:30 in the morning at my time,
yeah,
and I didn't watch it because I didn't have to work till 7, and I was like, I'm sleeping while I can. There's no way I'm getting up
yeah,
to watch that. So I didn't watch qualifying.
I
All I
did not
know
either.
is I woke up at 6 and I think it was still going on. So wait, maybe I did pop in for the last 5 minutes because it was still going on at 6 a.m.
Damn,
whenever I got up.
I got up
Whenever
at
I woke up, it was still happening, so I saw Lando get pole.
yeah,
And it was like Yuki was flying and like Alex was zooming. Maybe it
yeah,
was Alex. I was getting nervous because like George was
yeah,
flying too, and I was like, all these people were going on these like their last flying laps, and like
yeah,
Lando had done his, and I was like, I was like holding on. I was like, please hold on to preliminary pole. I was like, please, and then he
yeah,
got pole. Super super excited.
yeah.
Then the
Max
race,
had,
then the race happened.
and then well, first Max didn't have a great qualifying,
No, he
and
did
then
not.
had a 5 grid penalty on top of
On
that.
top of that,
So he started in 17.
P17.
Yeah, he basically completed the last to first challenge that Lewis did 3 years ago.
That was a drive.
That
Like,
was. I was
like coming
impressed.
from a Lando fan, I was like, man is zooming. And then lap after lap getting faster and faster. I was
Yeah,
like, okay, calm
I
down,
was. Yeah,
like,
I was watching it, and I was like, that start was impressive. Him going from 17th to like fifth, like to 12th in a turn.
yeah, it was 10 positions and 10 laps. And I was like,
Yeah,
he's on something today.
yeah,
Um, what else? So many red flags, so many
yeah,
yellow flags. Like, it's so hard to talk about a race that happened in the rain because so many things happen
yeah.
and like it's hard to do every small detail. Um,
There was just a lot of rain.
so much. And like I'm really glad that I was really happy that McLaren kept it on the road, honestly.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? I think cuz what happened, there was a Lando and George pit. They
yeah,
pit to change their tires and then a red flag happened.
yes,
So everyone got a free pit stop.
yeah,
Did that benefit other drivers? Yes. Did that hurt Lando and George? Yes.
yeah.
Just what happened.
Yeah,
Um,
before the red flag and before they pit, Lando and George were the class of the field by far.
mhm. They
By
were
far.
zooming.
They were in
Um,
another time zone.
and because I think Lando didn't have a good start. Obviously, the
No.
formation laps with the penalties with that was crazy.
Yeah,
Because
they
Stroll
did have
beached the
the
car.
penalties. They did have penalties now, right?
I
Those
think
came out.
so. I think it's, I think Lando got a reprimand and then I think he got a fine for it.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, that's what happened. And I don't know. I think George may have gotten a fine too, but I think it was Yuki and Lawson and I don't know who the fifth, I think there was another driver. They
Yeah.
just got dismissed. Like it was fine because like they
Yeah.
went because Lando and George went.
Which
So then
one?
they
Yeah.
followed.
It was really Lando
Um,
and George who could have,
started it.
yeah, who started it, and Lance Stroll was peached.
Which to be fair, that would have been like confusing, I feel like, for anybody with the
Yeah,
whole like
because
start
the
stop. Like,
terminology wasn't exactly what it is in the rule book.
mm-hmm.
And I know even like on Sky Sports they were getting, or ESPN, they were getting confused.
Yeah.
They were
And
very
so
confused
yeah,
on what was going on.
but I mean, that podium, man, that was so fun. So Max went
Yeah,
from P17 to P1 and won the race. Got a fastest lap point on top of that. What a
yeah.
drive. Like that
What a
was
drive.
like pure talent.
Yes.
Um, and then the Alpine boys.
Yeah.
I
I was so happy for them. I saw
I
that
was
they finished
so
2-3 and
happy.
I was so happy. I was like,
It was so excited for them. I think it's Esteban's super good in the rain. And
Yeah,
so I mean, they had said like he might, be a contender for this or
yeah,
something like I think qualifying or something.
yeah,
And then because rain changes everything. It changes how drivers drive, it changes strategy, it changes like some
yeah,
people are better in the rain than others, all the
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Um
Pierre was just up there all race.
he was
He was
good.
just there.
He was driving. Um But I'm telling you, like I was so excited. Like I would say like Alpine is maybe like my fourth team. Maybe, like I
Yeah.
really like Alpine. I like their drivers.
Next year is
And
gonna
so
be a lot of
seeing
fun.
seeing them up there, there was like people crying, like people in their pit crew crying, and I was just like, and like you could tell
Yeah,
like that podium meant so much to each one of them. Like even Max, because it's been since like June or July since Max has won a race.
yeah,
I turned up that Dutch national anthem. I was like turning it up um to listen
yeah,
to that, and it was so special. It was just like so wholesome because then it was just
yeah,
like they were all so happy for each other. They were all like
yeah,
Alpine got a double podium in this season too. Like
yeah.
this
I know
season got a
it's
double
insane.
podium. I
Yeah,
just
I think
was so excited.
Pierre and Max were definitely happy for each other because they were teammates a
Hmm.
long time ago.
They
But
were teammates a long time ago.
but also just like yeah, es- it could be Esteban's last podium for Alpine.
Hmm.
Could be. Um, and also they've just had a really tough year this year.
They have. Yeah. Um, and then K Mag was out, so Ollie was in for Sao
Yeah.
Paulo.
Hope
I hope
K
that he
Mag
gets
is
feeling
feeling better.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope K Mag is
Um,
feeling better. We missed
so
you, K Mag.
Ollie has like experienced like a lot of F1 weekends because I think that was his
Yeah.
first sprint and like first time with I think in rain too.
Yeah.
And his radio message broke my heart. It was so
Yeah.
like so sad. I was really concerned, which I know we just chatted about this, but like I was so concerned about the rain. Like
Yeah.
I just because so many people were wrecking, like Franco wrecked, and like
Yeah.
I just was like, I felt so bad for him because he's been having such a season so far, or half a
Yeah.
season, couple races, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever. It felt like a lot longer.
it really has. Um, but and I felt so bad for him. I just was hoping like
Yeah.
everyone was gonna stay like where they are, like
Yeah.
just keep it on the track. Like it was
Yeah, keeping
so
it on the road is the hardest
is
thing.
yeah, because Oscar I think did like a full 360, like he
Oh,
spun and he kept it on the track, and I was like, whoa, and then like he kept it, and I
yeah.
was like, good job.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was hard conditions in the beginning of the race too because they were on inters and the track was drying quickly.
mm-hmm, yeah. I also think that what else happened? Oh, Lewis with Encena's car was
Yeah,
so the
I'm so upset I
V10
missed that.
sound. The F1 was live on Instagram and I was
Yeah,
watching it. They stopped it right when they started the engine. I was like, whoa. So then we were in the chat, we were like freaking out because I was like, where do we watch this at? Like, I want to watch
yeah,
this. And then it was on YouTube. So F1
uh-huh,
had it on YouTube and it was super special. He said he did a couple extra laps. And then he had the Brazilian flag and was like had it up and like there was like a parallel because like Senna kind of did the same thing and so I saw
yeah,
a picture and I thought that was so cute. Um, he said that um he said something to about like bring back a real race car like this or something like that. It cracked me up so much.
yeah. And it's a pretty special moment for Lewis as well because he's going back to he went kind of back to the team that gave him his start in F1,
Hmm.
driving a McLaren again.
I know,
Um,
like seeing the McLaren pit crew out there with him, and I was like, oh, like cute.
yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. That's pretty special.
Hmm.
He's
He said that like that
adored.
was the highlight of his career was doing that, and he said he took a few couple extra laps than he was supposed to, and I was like, I would have done the same. Don't worry.
Yeah,
To hear that V10
obviously.
engine, I would too.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously. Like you have to. Um I know, yeah, a lot of drivers when they get the chance to do that, they take a couple
take
extra laps.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, it it's cool when you get to drive one of those old
Hmm.
cars and do all that. And also we can talk about Seb's return to the paddock.
Yes, with what was it? Do you know what he was doing?
No,
I know he
he
was like cleaning around the city and like helping with like
yeah,
pollution and stuff, I think is what it was, like
yeah.
conservation.
And he made Senna's helmet out, a giant replica of
Yes.
Senna's helmet out of trash,
Out of
and
trash,
got
that's what it was.
all of the whole entire grid into it. And
Mm-hmm.
the best part is Franco in the picture of them in the helmet. All of them are like smiling, like normal, and then there's Franco.
Not only that, but then George, like there's a video with George where he like bends down was like and just like peeks back up because he's so
Yeah,
tall.
yeah,
I think on the inside, I saw a couple pictures on the inside. I was trying to see if I could find them real quick, but maybe I
yeah.
can't.
I saw a couple of them.
I don't know what was on the inside of it though, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah, I
that was
couldn't.
really cool.
Yeah, that was
I
really
think
cool.
another thing that Seb did over the weekend was he helped create this Instagram page, which is the Grand Prix Drivers Association, and it's
Okay.
titled "The Current Formula F1 Drivers." And it says their bio says, "Hashtag Racing United for our safety, our sport, our fans." There's zero posts on it. It
Interesting.
has 229,000 followers, and it's following Seb. Um, yeah, it's following Sebastian. Who else? Alex Wurs.
Okay.
Um, Anastasia Fowl. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. She's actually, I just looked at her bio, and she's actually the director of the F1 Grand Prix Drivers Association.
Okay.
And they follow all of the drivers on the grid, and then they
Awesome.
also follow Ollie Behrman.
Makes
So
sense.
24 people total. Um,
Okay. Okay.
I'm waiting to see what all this entails.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like just in a we're playing a waiting game right now with this Instagram page is what we're
Yeah.
doing. Because I don't like I'm thinking it's obviously gonna have to do something for the FIA, but like what exactly it is, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But that page is there. If you want to go, if anyone wants to go follow that on Instagram, please do so. I'm sure something
Yes.
will come out soon.
Definitely. Um. Yeah. I think is that it for Sao Paulo.
I think so. At least everything that I can think of.
Yeah. Everything I can think of. It was definitely interesting though that George and Lando's penalties came after the race, but it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense why they came after the race.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I guess that's it, and we can get into the end of the year preview, which is so sad. Um,
I don't want to.
I don't want to either. I don't want this season to end because 2024 in all forms of motorsports has been really
It's been a
insane.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So excited to crown champions in
Mm-hmm.
F1 and NASCAR. Um, but
Do you want to
very
take
sad.
NASCAR and talk about NASCAR?
Yeah, I got it. So this weekend is NASCAR's finale weekend out in Phoenix, Arizona. All three national touring series are going to be crowning a champion in our elimination style format, which is still very, very, very dumb in racing. I will never let that live down. But we have our final four competitors in all three series. In the truck series, it is Grant Enfinger, Christian Eckes, Corey Heim, and Ty Majeski. In Xfinity, so basically F2, it is AJ Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Cole Custer, who's the defending Xfinity Series champion, and Justin Allgaier. And then the Cup Final Four, so the F1 of NASCAR, it's Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, the 2023 Cup Series champion, and William Byron. There was a lot of controversy last weekend, or on Sunday, for all three national series in NASCAR. It was an elimination race, so we went from 8 to 4. And in truck, there was, like I said, there was a little bit of pushing and shoving, and on the racetrack, and it led to some talking after the race ended. Um, and we'll see what happens next week. Uh, we'll see what happens on Friday.
What are your
Uh,
predictions for each one?
each one, I'm saying for truck, it's probably going to be Corey Heim. He's been the dominant driver all season. He has 6 wins. He's been insane this season. And yeah, I think he'll probably win the Truck Series title. Xfinity. This is where I'm gonna go on my heart more than my mind. I really want AJ Allmendinger to win the championship before he moves up, he moves back up to Cup next year. He's a fan favorite. He's such a likable person.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and his team, they've kind of had a crappy year all year, and they kind of turned it up for Vegas a couple weeks ago and won. So it'll be interesting. And then for Cup, I'm saying it's either Tyler Reddick or Ryan Blaney. They have momentum on their side.
Mm.
Blaney won last weekend, or on Sunday, at Martinsville. Reddick won 2 weekends ago, or a week, yeah, 2 weekends ago at Homestead, and on a last lap pass that was insane. Um, any fan of motorsports would be impressed by that pass. He went from third, crossing the line for the final lap, to first, coming out of the last corner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it literally looked like when he went into the last set of corners, like it looked like he was gonna hit the wall.
Oh, goodness.
He was close, but he came out and won the race. And for anybody who's a basketball fan, you would like to know that Tyler Reddick's team owner, or one of Tyler Reddick's team owners, is the Michael Jordan, the goat of basketball. Um, and no, LeBron hater or LeBron fans cannot change my mind. I will always be a stand that Jordan is the goat.
You're right.
Uh, but yeah, that the Cup race also had some things happen on Sunday, and there's a whole controversy. Christopher Bell actually got was supposed to be in the final four, but got disqualified, um, from being a part of the final four due to a safety violation, because he tried to kind of pull the move that Ross Chastain was infamous for, or is infamous for, 2 years ago, pulling the Hail Melon, where he literally rode the wall to make the championship four. Christopher kind of tried to do the same thing. And then there was also some news today that just dropped actually before we recorded, that 3 teams were fined and had lost owner and driver's points for race manipulation.
Oh,
Um, the one of Ross Chastain actually was one of them. The three of Austin Dillon and the 23 of Bubba Wallace, they were all fined $10,000 and docked 50 drivers and owners points, and then also had their crew chiefs and spotters suspended for the final race of the year.
wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it was a
Don't do
lot.
it. You do it, you pay the price.
Yeah, yeah. You do the crime, pay the time. Um, but yeah, I guess we can go into the final triple header
The final
of
triple header
of the
of
year
the
for
Formula One
F1.
season.
Yeah, for the
So,
2024 season.
our last three races are taking us to Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Um, should be really exciting. I think
Yes,
so. If Max wins in Vegas, Max wins the WDC
yes,
in for his fourth one.
yes.
Um, I don't know the math. I think Lando's behind like 60 something points now, so
Yeah,
it's gonna take a miracle. I live by the phrase, it's not over until it's over.
yes,
So we shall see. I would love for Lando to, come through and win, but being realistic, it's probably not gonna happen, and I'm a Lando fan that's totally okay with that. I really am.
yeah,
Um, because I love Max Verstappen. Like, I really, really do. He's amazing. He's a great driver. He proves it time and again. Like, he's just a
yeah,
masterclass. Um, so yeah, we'll probably see Max win the WDC, his fourth one.
yeah,
That'll be so exciting to watch.
yeah,
And then we're gonna see about this wherever these constructors line up because right now McLaren is ahead. I'm hoping that stays.
yeah.
Um,
Same.
I'm really hoping it stays because I need something good to come out of this year.
Yeah,
Just kidding. Um, so right now the constructors, it's McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull are probably going to be kind of in the running for first, but it's really going to be Ferrari versus McLaren for these last three,
yeah,
who are going to go head to head. Um, I think also the fight for sixth place is
yeah.
still going on for Alpine, Haas, and Red Bull, Visa, Cash App, Money Team. Um,
V carb.
yeah, VGarv. I'm hoping personally, now this is personally, I hope that Haas comes through and gets sixth place.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That would be awesome.
they're only 3 points behind.
Yeah,
And then this is what's crazy. So Alpine is sixth with 49 points.
yeah,
Haas is seventh with 46 points. And then VCarb is eighth with 44. So that could go either way too. Like that might take us
yeah,
to the end also.
yeah. It's
Um,
crazy,
it looks like
crazy tight.
Williams gonna stay ninth, and then Kick Sauber is gonna stay 10th because they don't have any points.
Yeah, I
Um,
hope that Sauber gets at least a point by the end of the year.
yeah, I think didn't Valtteri get into Q3 or Q2
Yeah,
in Sao Paulo?
yeah, Sao Paulo, and I think he also was fighting for 10th in Mexico
Yeah,
as well.
he was doing so good. I heard a rumor, I don't know. I don't really like to talk about rumors on here just because I liked it to be true, but I heard a
Yeah,
rumor he might take a reserve driver role
yeah, I saw
back at
that. I saw him
Mercedes.
talk about it.
Yeah, they did ask him. Um, I think he said something like it was really hard to show what he can do in the car that he has now,
It
which is
is a
very
tractor.
true. It's not even a tractor, it's like a mower.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. No, actually, wait.
it's like
Mercedes is a mower. Mercedes is a lawnmower. Valtteri proved that.
yes. Um, but it looks like the end of the season's gonna definitely be super fun, super interesting. These are
Yeah,
three really big, really fun races.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
should be good. I'm excited for Vegas. I really, really wanted to go to Vegas myself. Um,
Same.
didn't not gonna happen, and that's okay. I'll just cry
Yeah.
about it later. Um, but it should be super exciting. I think that it ends, it's December 8th is the last race for Formula One. Um,
Yeah.
that is at 7 a.m. my time. So that should
Yeah.
be,
Should be.
man, oh
Yeah.
man.
It's
I
not
will be
the
crying. I have work that day, but I will be crying at work. I do not care.
Vegas is
Um,
not going to be fun.
I'm excited to see like special helmets and
I'm
like,
excited. I'm excited for it. I'm just not excited to watch it because it is 1 a.m. my time.
oh, I know it's midnight my time. Everything is so late that night. I'm not ready for it
I'm just
either.
like,
Will I do it? Yes, but
it depends on where I am. I may or may not be awake.
actually, yeah, I probably need to really think that through. Oh well. Um,
Qatar is okay. It's 11. It's 11 a.m.
okay.
my time. It's
AM,
not that.
okay. So 10 a.m. my time, we can do that.
And then we said what Abu Dhabi is.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the
it's
last thing I want to talk about is definitely Lando, because Lando is my favorite driver. I think he's also
yes.
yours.
Yeah.
Um, um, Let me just say, what a year.
Yeah.
Like he's been with McLaren since 2019 when they had a
Yeah.
lawnmower, and look where he's
Yes.
at now.
Yes.
Um, he got his first win this year. Same with Oscar, and Oscar's fourth right now.
Yeah,
Like
it's
what
crazy.
a job that they've done. Um,
Yeah.
my hope is that Lando can hold off Charles and secure
Yeah.
two, like secure
Yeah.
his second spot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really hoping for the rest of the season. Um, and I will say, like, I know that you'll feel the same way, but like hate, we don't tolerate that
Yeah.
any over any driver whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um, Not something we agree with. If you are a person who is attacking other fans and attacking Lando himself, or even attacking Max, any driver,
Yeah.
it's not do it. It's not good.
No.
Um, we literally just had like World Mental Health Day and things
Yep.
like that. Like the words that you say matter, what you put on the internet matters.
Yes.
Um, your digital footprint will stay. It's there
Yep.
for everyone to see forever.
Yep.
So definitely just be mindful of that. These are people with real lives, real emotions, real
Yeah.
feelings. Their job is to literally drive a car. Um, so be kind to people. Just because someone likes a different driver does not give anyone the right to be rude to others.
Yeah.
Especially as we're winding down to the end of the season. Obviously, feelings and emotions are going to be high. So just remember, just a kind reminder to be kind to one another because what you say and do matters.
Yes. It definitely does. And as someone who, as people who met online, um,
Mm-hmm.
we definitely know that words matter, and it's part of the reason, honestly, probably part of the reason why we're friends, and
Yeah,
we've always been respectful and kind to each other. And it's also part of the reason why, um as some of you know who follow me on threads, know that uh I'm taking a little mental health break and detox from social media currently.
it's
It
good.
it's good for you. It's not the end of the world you don't if you're not on social media.
Correct.
Um
There's a whole life to be lived.
yeah, it's a lot better when you can be present and enjoy these moments. Especially when you're watching sports. Um it's a lot more fun when you're present in the
Mm-hmm.
moment. Um it's definitely a lot more fun as someone who's would when they were younger got to see one of their favorite drivers win a NASCAR title, and one of their favorite basketball team or their favorite basketball team win an NBA championship. It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more fun when you're present in those moments and understand what it means than just being online and being rude to people.
Yeah. I've seen so many comments First of all, the whole thing with Lando, they took what he said out of context,
Yes.
and so many people reposted that it just caught on fire and ran with
Yeah.
it. And it
Yeah.
just was like, if you would go back and watch the video, that's not what he said. Um, and so yeah, after that, even like seeing like Liam Lawson's page, have you seen
Yeah.
his comment section is actually
Yeah.
disgusting. Um, it's always like, and it's always like the big ones I see are also like the Max haters and the Lando
Yeah.
haters. It's just
Yeah.
like no need for any of that.
Yeah.
Um, I have some thoughts and opinions about McLaren, but I think I will stay silent on McLaren for today. I might talk about it later, but
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely have
oh
more
yes,
more
we'll have so
content
much
coming
to
out.
talk about. So much to talk about very, very soon.
Yeah, it's you guys better keep your eyes peeled. We'll have content for for a while. Um and definitely we appreciate everybody who's listened. Um and definitely appreciate the communities that we were a part of on both threads the and Instagram.
Yes, our
Um
Instagram friends, we love them.
we love them and definitely excited to continue this podcast.
Oh
And
yeah.
we have some big things lined up for the off season. And
Yeah, but we're
um
not telling you guys what just because we
no,
want it to be a surprise.
yeah, we're and that's specifically aimed at our friends on threads and Instagram who will ask us.
We're not
Um
telling you.
nope. Nope. We're not saying anything. We're gonna keep
Don't
that a
pressure me because
secret.
I might fold, okay?
We're keeping it a secret. But we will continue this and hopefully during the off season we can get some guests as well. Um, that would be a lot of fun. And if you guys do want to be guests, you guys can hit us up.
Please do.
Yeah, we'll respond. We'll figure out times and dates and everything. But
And
thank you.
topics.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for either watching or listening to the podcast today for episode 2. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all the things YouTubers tell you to. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, we'll be there. We are there. Um, episode 1 was out is out already, so we hope you guys all enjoyed this yap session about the America's Triple Header. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Uh, thank you guys again, and yeah, that's it. So, Race Pace Radio is a part of the Studio Podcast Network. Thank you all, and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks after
Yes, we
the
will.
end of the season tier.
After all my tears have been shed.
Yes.
Probably not, but
All right, guys. Peace.